When Washington spends, you are on the hook, and you deserve to know how much. That is the title of our next guest's op-ed, which is calling out our nation's $34.7 trillion, I think it's 34.8 now, trillion dollar debt. So how does that translate into the bottom lines for average Americans? Author of that op-ed, Republican Congressman for Kansas and member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Congressman Ron Estes joins us now. Congressman, great to have you with us.
Well, it's great to have you on.
It's kind of amazing to look at the debt clock now and see how quickly it goes up. I noted on X that you promoted this interview here, and the graphic you use says $32 trillion. Now it's $34 trillion. You can't even keep up with the debt clock these days.
No, it really is. It's a constant state of additional debt and additional borrowing that's going on. In fact, when we did the editorial last week, it was $34.7 trillion, and in the span of a week, it's now up $140 billion more. So it's actually now $34.8 trillion. And so it's really demonstrative of all the spending and the deficit that's continuing to expire. And it's something that the American people need to be aware of, just because they're on the hook to paying it back. And we need to focus at the federal level on how much we're spending and make sure that we get that in line with what the revenue that's coming in.
Now, Democrats are not alone, and their spending here. Republicans are on the hook for a lot of this debt as well. And we hear this from Republicans all the time. They're going to do something to cut the debt. I know you're serious about this, but how do you get the rest of your Republican colleagues to sign on to something like this? Because it's not sexy to talk about, and it's not an easy thing to do, obviously.
It's really not, as you said, not sexy to talk about, but it's one of the things that we have to face up to. We've, for several years, the United States obviously has been the dominant superpower in the world, and so it was easy to be able to address some of the wants that people had and actually increase more spending. And unfortunately, now we've gotten to the point where we're spending more than what we're bringing in on a continuous basis, and we've got to rein our spending in. And the first step to solving a problem is you have to realize and understand what the problem is. And that's kind of why we're focusing on, let's make sure that all American taxpayers are aware of what the debt is, and make sure that they see the debt clock increasing. Roughly it's about $100,000 every second is being borrowed for this spending. And so when we voted on the debt ceiling increase a little over a year ago, the focus on that was to put caps and restrictions on spending for not just 2024, but 2025. And so as we're going into appropriations,
we hear this all the time, Congressman, that there's going to be a government shutdown, but it always happens. These emergency stopgap measures get passed. No real budgetary planning. A lot of that comes along with this. And now 120% debt to GDP ratio. People should spend a few minutes with the debt clock. It'll wake them up real quick. Nice op-ed, Congressman. Great to see you. We can obviously find it on X and on our site as well. Congressman Ron Estes, great to see you, sir.
All right, great. Thank you.